Welcome to Taking Trades, a YouTube channel dedicated to day traders where I show my trades live every day after I close my positions, and I don't charge any subscription fees or sell any courses. So I encourage you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like the content, and let's dive into things. So today's January 15th, 2019, and it was kind of a slow morning. I got up early again like yesterday, and I was watching the natural gas futures at 5 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and nothing was moving around a whole lot. It wasn't declaring a direction. Things seemed a little bit choppy. So after an hour or two of watching that and not really seeing much, I decided to go ahead and jump into some large cap stocks that I've been familiar with in the past. So I started following MU, Micron Technology, and ultimately ended up taking a trade on that, which I'm going to show you guys in this video. But I do want you to stay tuned because I have one tip for you in this video that I'm going to give to you when we break the trade down. And the more trades I take, the more critical I've discovered that this one thing is. And I can't lose sight of it ever, or things go wrong for me. So I want to share that with you during this video as well. So let's go ahead, jump into the video. Oh, I have 4 subscribers, so thank you to all 4 of you. I'm super excited. I'm getting more likes. I even had a comment. I want to respond to all of you, so please comment, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. I encourage it all. Just seeing a little bit of action on the website or on the YouTube channel is really great. So I thank you to all 4 of you subscribers, and anyone else out there, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into the trade. All right. Let's jump in. So here is my chart on Micron Technology, ticker symbol MU. And what I liked about this was MU has been showing a downtrend over on the 180-day 4-hour chart, as well as on the 1-hour chart 20-day. And so overall I knew the direction that this stock was moving. And so what I was looking for was a stock to make some lower lows, make some lower highs, and then ultimately get a nice pullback and show it being overbought on the RSI and the MACD. And then at that point, I would take a short position on this and then look to ride it to the bottom of this channel. So remember yesterday we talked about the balance beam, the 40-foot off the ground balance beam, and the 6-inch off the ground balance beam. Which one would you rather walk on? I would rather walk on the 6-inch balance beam down here at the bottom, where the risk is a lot more manageable. If you take a position at the bottom of the channel and it goes against you and it's not working, you can get out very quickly. Whereas if you take a position at the top of the channel, there is a chance you could talk yourself into riding the whole channel down before you decide to jump out. And at that point, the losses are huge, and it's just not a good practice to have. So today, I'll go ahead and I'm going to play this. What I'm looking for here is, I'd seen a little bit of lower lows, lower highs, a little bit of chop here, and then I got this pullback up into this 180-day simple moving average line, and I started to see this. You see how the RSI is pushing up? This is showing that this stock is currently overbought and means that it's due for a pullback. Now, I'm going to share the tip with you that I talked about in the intro. You have to know the direction of your stock. If you don't know the direction, and I don't mean just the direction on the 1 minute, I mean stepping back and zooming out, getting out of the trees, out of the forest, and being able to overlook a larger time frame. And what I mean by that is like your daily chart, or you can look at your 180-day 4-hour chart, 20-day 1-hour chart, larger time frames, and then zoom in and become more micro-focused on the 1 minute and the 5 minute. But always take a step back and see what's going on around you. So because MU was downtrending, which is the tip, always know the direction of your stock. If it's downtrending, go with the trend and take short positions when you get a pullback like this at the top of the channel. If your stock was uptrending, then you don't want to take a short position on that. You want to take a long position, and you want to buy that long position once the stock has pulled back and is now being oversold and due for a correction in the long position. So that's the tip. Always know the direction. Always, always, always know the direction. So in this case, I knew MU was trending down. So I know that I'm going to take a short position on this when I get that pullback. So here it was. And when I go ahead and play that, I'm just going to go ahead and speed that up a little bit. So it pulled back. I'm watching this. I'm seeing that we're starting to get beyond the upper boundary. And I went ahead and put an order out for 150 shares right there. I got filled at $34.55. So it starts to pull down, and then as I started to feel good about it, it decided that it was going to push back up on me one more time, which in this case is okay because I took small enough size that I could tolerate that. So the video will skip ahead here in just a second. So you can see here, I took my entry, it pushed down, I felt good, I thought okay, we're going the right direction, and then it bounced on me a little bit, and it came up here to this middle VWAP line, the volume weighted average price. Sorry about that. Middle line. Market's closed. So I was down $14, almost $15 on it, but because I took starter size, I felt more comfortable letting it kind of run and settle in. If I'd had 1,000 or 2,000 shares, again, like we talked about yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to stomach that. It would have been the losses that could have potentially been too great, and I would have probably stopped out. But because it was small, I let it kind of work around here, settle in, and then as it tips back in my favor, I can always add to my position once I feel more comfortable about it. So as I play this, and we move on, you can kind of see it pushes up, pulls back, and now what I'm thinking is if it bounces off the 180-day line and goes again, then I'm going to say, okay, we're setting higher highs and higher lows. This probably isn't a short position I want to be in, and I'll exit. I'll cover my position. But instead, it decided to push back down. And it kind of hung up a little bit, so I wasn't sure what was going to happen there. But I was confident because I knew my one tip. I knew the direction of the stock. I knew it was trending down. So short interest is the correct way to go. So now you can see I'm starting to get a push down, and I'm feeling good about this because now what I want to watch for is the next candle to push up into this 15-day moving average, but not necessarily break back through and go higher. Kind of touch it, bump into it, and then roll over and go again. And that would ideally be a good spot to add to your position. So I think I talked yesterday about how I did not add to my last position on UGAZ yesterday, and again today I did not add to my position. I'm still getting comfortable with this technique of adding once we cross this EMA, which is the 15-day EMA right here. So it pushes down. You can see I'm in the green, 57 cents, but it is pushing down, so I'm staying in the trade. There's no indication to get out. The price action looks good. And then it kind of pulls back up and jumps up against me, but then rolls over. So now I've got a high here, I've got a lower high here, so I'm feeling good. As long as now we go below this and set a new lower low, that's sort of indicating a little downtrend on the 1 minute time frame, which keeps me interested. So I'm still watching, still curious. It'll push up against me on occasion, but I just try to be calm and relaxed because I've got small size, so I feel good about it. Still at this time I was considering adding. I was thinking, yeah, maybe I'll add, 100 more shares or something like that. So I hadn't decided yet. And I think because the action on this stock was just a little choppy, that ultimately helped me decide that I did not want to take additional shares on and sell those. So it's hanging up underneath the 15 EMA, which is great. That's exactly what you want to see. But ideally, I want to see a little more fall off, and I started to get it. And as it broke that $0.50, that was a significant point, and I'll explain why on that.
anytime you have a stock going long or short and you're running into a whole dollar or you're running into a half dollar, so in this case 34.50, that's what they call a psychological barrier or psychological support. As this pulled down, when it got to the half dollar, there's sometimes a chance that it'll get hung up and even bounce because of that psychological barrier of whole dollars and half dollars. You can look on Investopedia and look at psychological resistance and support, and you can kind of learn a little bit more there. But it is interesting how strong and influential it can be at times. So we continue on here. It pushes down. So now I'm just up like $12, $13. And meanwhile, I'm starting to watch the RSI, and I'm seeing it getting to the bottom of the channel. And I wanted to make sure I didn't repeat a mistake that I made a few days ago where I didn't take profit in time. So my plan was to let the bottom of the channel be my target and then jump out of the trade at that point. So I went ahead and just kind of held tight, and then I was considering putting out a stop order to sell or to buy to cover my position. So in a second you'll see where I issue 150 share buy order to go ahead and exit and close, cover my position. So once we get down here, I started to notice, and you can kind of see it, but there's a little bit of support holding up. Okay, right here. So that candle pushed down. I got down to 42, which is more than 10 cents profit, which I was happy with. Even though small size and small money right now, that, you know, I was just trying to be focused on having a target and executing the plan at the bottom of the channel. So that candle touches. Then as I continue to play this, you'll notice this candle gets hung up at 34.42, and then the next candle opens right around 34.42, and it wasn't executing my order to cover and buy the 150 shares and close out my position. So just kind of hanging out and waiting. And then ultimately we'll get a pop and you'll see it close. I even changed it. I even bumped it up, I believe, to 41. And there it went. So that was the, back that up just a little bit here. So there it was. Put the order out and it busted through and exited my position. So I covered there $21.57 profit today on that one trade. Not huge money, but again, a good trade, taken in a good position with a good target right here. Bottom of the channel, and I sold. Now, the funny thing about this trade is an hour later, 2 hours later, this is trading, it just kept trickling down all day. So if I would have just held the position, it would have worked out really well for me. But because we were at the bottom of the channel, I didn't want to risk a bounce reversal and get stuck with no profit. So I took the 21.57 and called it a day there. Didn't see much else today. A lot of things were just trading sideways and kind of choppy, and I didn't want to get involved in that. So that was my trading day. Please comment below. Let me know what you guys traded today. Tell me if you traded MU or if you did get in on natural gas with DGAS and UGAS. I'm curious to hear how your day went, if you were red, if you were green. And then if you have any questions, just let me know. I appreciate you stopping by. Please, if you like the content, smack that subscribe button. Thanks and have a good day. See you tomorrow.